Right, so if you use glue, you have to cover from point to point fully in glue, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
You stick it down, but the problem is if you don't do regular maintenance with glue, it seeps up into the hair, and you have to get it clean, what we do is you have to take it off and you have to rub it to get the glue out. And the hair starts to pull through,
it's going to damage
starts to thin the system out, right?
Okay.
So I would recommend with you, because you're not confident doing your own regrooms,
No.
I would recommend tape, especially on this system that we've got today because it's a poly band, which it means there's like a bit of almost like rubber around the edge.
Okay.
So when the tape sticks to it, it makes a nice, quick, clean kind of bond.
Okay.
Just get it to your scalp, it's nice and tight, and when you clean it, it literally takes the difference between like a glue system all over.
Right.
It's like half an hour if you're good at cleaning the system, probably 20 minutes, half an hour. With tape, it's 5-10 minutes.
All right. Okay.
And then all you've got to worry about is cleaning the front section.
All right. You say front of the glue.
Yeah, front like almost like a half moon.
Okay.
Glue at the front.
Okay.
And then we tape the back around the edges. And it'll give you a good bond. That's what I do with mine. So mine's taped from like across like this.
Yeah. Okay.
And then this bit's glue.
All right.
And mine will last me like 3 weeks. Tape off takes me like 5 minutes, 10 minutes to clean. And then I can reattach it quite easily.
All right. Okay.
But like I said, if you go too long with glues, I mean, if you go too long with tape, it will still not be good for the system. But longer with tape is better for the system than longer with glue.
All right.
If you're struggling to do these things
I
in lockdowns
understand one point, because the glue, when you clean it, it damages your hair system.
yeah, you do this and you're pulling it through,
Yeah.
and then you lose hair over time. And obviously, the more you use it, the more you clean it, the more hair you lose. But with tape would be a lot better for you, I think.
All right.
All right, so we do that today.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Right. So what we're gonna do, instead of raising it down, because we don't want to cause any irritation, because I can see it's a little bit red on top already.
All right. Okay.
I'm gonna use these, a bit like using a razor,
Yeah.
called a foil clipper. Because you don't have a lot of growth either,
Yeah.
it's not like we've got masses of hair to take off. Like me now.
All right.
Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray some chemical on. It might sting a little bit,
Yeah.
but don't touch your head when this is on, because this is what creates a nice little bond, protects your skin, alright?
Okay.
Stinging?
Yeah.
Means it's working. Right, so what I'm going to do next, I'm going to go get the system, place it on, do some dots, so we know where your hairline is going to be.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go out, I'm going to tape it up. Once I've taped it up, I'm going to come in with some glue the front section like we spoke about, and then when we put it on, we'll roll it back, we'll get the tape on nice and tight,
Okay.
and then we'll cut it.
Thank you.
Alright?
Thank you.
Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to put it on roughly where we want the hairline, and what we do is we dot out the hairline. Some people use dots, some people use lines, just whatever it is, make sure you're below the hairline.
Okay.
So even when you're doing your front touch-ups or you're doing your regrooms at home, make sure you go below the lace, alright?
Okay.
Reason you want to go below the lace is, raise your eyebrows for me, buddy. Brilliant. Relax. Relax. Reason you want to go below the hairline and not on the hairline is because you don't want to stain the lace. And if you put too much of this on the lace, you can sometimes leave a little dot, which you don't need. So what I do is I'm just following that hairline roughly, a bit like that. Take a tiny bit more hair off this edge. Tiniest bit there. So it's perfect. Cool. So I'm going to take a tiny bit more hair off here just because the system's got to make sure the system fits properly.
Okay.
Sound. Right, so next time we're going to get some glue now, alright? We'll put the glue on.
Okay, thank you.
Right, so we've taped up your system.
Okay.
It's all ready to go. So all I'm going to do now is just do a bit of glue. A bit like that, you see, a bit like a half moon.
Okay.
I think I might have put a bit too much on, but don't worry, I will get it off.
Okay.
So all we do is you just spread it across like you normally would with like the normal glue, but we're only doing the front section today
Okay.
because you're going to go to tapes. help the longevity of your system and the easiness to clean at home, alright?
Okay.
So we're doing is we're going close to those dots. See, we're going quite close, but we're not going over them, alright?
Okay.
Reason being, if we put glue over them, when you're going to try to wipe it off, at the end, you won't be able to. They'll be stuck on your head. You have to take all the glue off and redo it.
Okay.
So we wait for that to dry.
Okay.
Goes on white, dries clear.
Okay.
We always do 2 layers, and then we'll bring the system in. I'll show you what we'll taped up.
All right. Thank you.
Right, so I've taped it up. You can see like where the tape is, all shiny. That is where the tape is. So you literally only got to put tape on that bit, and it'll make it really nice and solid for you.
Okay.
So if you just relax, head back for me ever so slightly, out there for me, that'd be sound. Now a little bit further forward. There we go, about there. So what I'm going to do, get it just behind that hairline where we started with the glue.
Okay.
I'm going to roll it back. You could probably feel the tape touch you.
Okay.
So what I'm doing now is rolling it back, keeping a little bit of tension, but not pulling it, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Because we don't want to create a bend or a wobble in it.
Okay.
I'm rolling that back down, and that is millimetre perfect then. Just making sure those edges are down.
Okay.
Get the towel over the top. Just smooth the edges down. I mean, I can already tell there's no bumps, we'll be fine, but we should always do that a couple of times a day if possible.
Okay.
And what we do is we get a pair of tweezers.
Okay.
We're looking just to touch any bit of lace that sticks up. We're just going to touch it down into the glue.
Okay.
Make sure it sticks. Any bit, there's a little bit there, so we'll do a tiny little touch up at the end.
Okay.
Well, I didn't put quite enough glue, that's all. But everywhere else looks good to me. So that's all down. Get a wet wipe. Wipe away the dots, right? But we always wipe away from the hair, alright?
Okay.
Reason being, if you rub up,
Yeah.
you'll smudge it into the hairline or into the glue.
All right.
And you don't want to do that, trust me.
Okay.
And every time you wipe a dot, try to move your finger around the wet wipe. So you're using a clean area of the wet wipe. That's not to smudge. Pencil again. Just like that. Right, so that's all attached.
Okay.
So then, we were talking about styles beforehand, weren't we?
Yeah.
And you said you wanted something similar to mine
Yeah.
and Phil's.
Yeah.
So
That's
kind of
yours.
more similar to mine, so
Yeah.
just forward,
Yeah.
messy.
Yeah.
Yeah? Same. Right.
Easy now.
Nice and easy, literally.
Yeah.
With my hair,
Yeah.
I do very little to it. I literally wake up.
Yeah.
I should say I brush it every morning, but I don't. And then I come to work and I might put a little bit of this Jorgen conditioner in, which you should do every day. So I do tend to do that when I want to style it.
This is better.
This is a good product, available on our websites.
Okay.
But so what we do,
If you spray this one, it look like fresh air in it.
yeah, it makes it nice and clean and it makes it look really good.
Okay.
So I'm just going to brush it back to see what I know you don't want it like that. But I just want to make sure that hairline looks decent.
Okay.
And as you can see, well, not you, but the people at home, hairline looking nice and natural. But obviously, we're going to do it slightly different, so you won't be able to see the hairline anyway. Right, so I'm going to start cutting it in a second.
Okay.
So I know what I'm looking for, so we'll get it done, alright?
Okay. Thank you.
Every couple of weeks I take it off fully,
Okay.
and then I wash my hair when it's off. I don't tend to wash mine on my head, because it makes the bond last longer,
Okay.
and it also it just worked for me. The bond lasts longer, and I can just leave it a couple of weeks and get it all nice and clean when it's off my head.
Alright.
So, head forward for me.
Okay.
It's a bit hard to show the camera what I'm doing, but what we do with all the systems when they come in is we razor cut it. We razor cut it because we want it to look nice and natural. So what we do, get my razor out of the way, we clip off about, I want to say about ½ an inch sections each time, and then we wet it down and we razor it to blend in with the hair. So say with the hair is going to be roughly around here, and we'll blend it in, and then at the end you will get a nice blend all the way around. Because the gentleman's having it forward now as well, we'll carry that blend in onto the fringe, whereas obviously sometimes when we use longer fringes with like quiffs and that, we tend to stagger it so it comes down more, so it'd be sure to say it on the side and get longer towards the front, so that they've got a lot of hair to quiff back. So on the sides here I've already started doing some of the layers.
Okay.
So what we do, we always razor it yet again like I said,
Okay.
and we're trying to get the layers to sit nicely and blend. So the reason we use a razor is to feather it all in, make it nice and edge. So you don't get any like big straight edges.
Okay.
And then obviously like I said, we're going to be able to take this one straight into the fringe rather than leave it too long.
Okay.
So then we take another section, brush it down. Bit of conditioner. The reason we use the leave-in conditioner when we're cutting is to add moisture and make it nice and soft as we're cutting it.
Alright.
So a bit different to having like a normal haircut where you can just use water and
Okay.
the last layer on this top section. There we go, and then we're going to do the other side and we'll cut the fringe. Right, so now we've done the sides, what we do, we cut the top with scissors obviously. We've already discussed how we want it, so we know what kind of style we're going for. So at the moment, I'm just going to take out most of the excess weight. Obviously, most of the length's already done because when we take the two sections from either sides into the middle, they match up nice and even, so then we can see where we need to take the middle section out. Obviously, as we get to this front, we've got to be a bit more careful because obviously we don't want to pull the front up. I mean, not an issue if we do, because we can always touch it up and put it back down, but obviously the less we do it, the better.
Okay. The reason is the glue, yeah?
Yeah, so what we're trying to do is don't want to pull it, don't want to get like, obviously because we're cutting it,
Okay.
we don't want to get the comb caught in the lace if we can help it.
Okay.
I mean, it happens occasionally, it's not a major issue. We might get a little lift that we've got to sort out afterwards, but it's easy enough to do.
Okay.
Like I said, we can already see where the sections need to blend. And obviously, I'll get around the other side so people can see. I'm going to head up for me a little bit, buddy. So eyebrow, should we take the hair about there-ish?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think just above the eyebrows would be a good starting place.
Okay.
That's Phil being loud.
I know.
Yeah, that's it.
I need exactly your styles, and that's the best. That's it.
Yeah, we'll get it very similar. It won't be exactly because obviously my system's 9 months old, but it takes a few weeks to get it to like settle properly. So once you have a new system, it tends to take a couple of weeks to sit how you want it to sit properly and all these things.
Try best in it. That's it.
Sorry?
I said try best in it.
Yeah, that's it. We'll get it as best we can.
That's why when I make appointment, she said, I forget your name.
Troy. That's not, I'm the only bloke that works here apart from Philip. I'm the only bloke who cuts area.
That's why she said. Because everybody got different experience in it, you see.
Exactly. Everyone's a bit different. Every fitting, every stylist, every customer, we're all a bit different. So we all like things a different way or something that we think's right or wrong.
Yeah. Because especially this job, doing hair, you need to be expert person, you know.
Yeah, especially in this line of work. I've seen so many haircuts where people come in, they've had their hair cut by their mate who's a barber, or you know, things like that, but they don't tell them what they're wearing. Or I'm quite lucky that when I go and get my hair cut, a lot of the guys that I used to work with when I used to do just normal barbering, they will know I wear a system. So they know to pin it up, how to not cut into it, things like that I've told them. So it's one of them where it's easier for them, but sometimes when you just get a normal guy who's never cut a system in before and they want to have a go, you do see some really bad ones. Alright, we're not far off, buddy.
Okay, thank you.
So what we're going to do, I'm just going to finish it off now, and then I'm going to dry it off, put a little bit of product in there, get it nice and stuck down, like settled for you, and then we will be ready to go. Ooh, stuck on the wheel. So I'm just going to use a little bit of product to give it some shape.
Oh my God!
Whoa! Look at you.
You finished the filming?
Yeah, we're still filming.
Okay, thank you.
Right, so you happy?
Yeah, thank you very much.
That's it, like a 20-year-old man again.
Yeah, well done, nice job, thank you.